My 3-year-old son has got a new phrase that he tosses around all the time. We say something and he goes, "You kidding me?" So I say, like, you can't watch TV anymore. And he says, "You kidding me?" I think we're going to want to ask Don Rumsfeld the same question. First of all, he's been out and about questioning whether we have enough intelligence on Syria. You're going to make that question, Don Rumsfeld? You're going to bring up that question. You know, in June, when they asked, some guy in a conservative get-together asked if Obama had, quote, switched sides on the war on terror. Rumsfeld said, quote, "You know, I just don't feel competent to answer. I can't tell." You can't tell whether the President of the United States of America switched sides on the war on terror? Imagine what the Republicans would have done if somebody had said that about President Bush in the middle of wars. Now, Rumsfeld is going to take it over the top even more here when he has the unmitigated gall to question whether we've got enough evidence before a war. Watch.
One thing that's very interesting, it seems to me, is that there really hasn't been any indication from the administration as to what our national interest is with respect to this particular situation.
Our national interest? Our national interest. You remember, Iraq did not attack us on 9/11, and Rumsfeld said that he didn't want to act in Afghanistan as much as he wanted to attack in Iraq. And people like Richard Clark, the counterterrorism advisor to the president at the time, asked him, wait a minute, the guys who attacked us on 9/11 came from Afghanistan, not from Iraq. Rumsfeld answered, well, Iraq is a more target-rich environment. Well, actually, of course, he meant resource-rich. That's why they wanted to go to Iraq. Now you're telling us our national interests are not concerned. What, it was in our national interest to make sure that we got the Iraqi oil, by the way, not for the American people, but for multinational corporations that were in league with apparently this administration, including, by the way, the one that the vice president used to work for? You're talking about national interest and how you had enough information before the war. You remember this awesomely embarrassing moment after the war when Rumsfeld was caught by Ray McGovern, former CIA officer, in the embarrassing lies that he told before the war. Watch.
Why did you lie to get us into a war that was not necessary and that has caused these kinds of casualties? Why?
Well, first of all, I haven't lied. It appears that there were not weapons of mass destruction there.
You said you knew where they were.
I did not. I said I knew where suspect sites were, and we were just...
You said you knew where they were, near Tikrit, near Baghdad, and north, east, south, and west of there. Those are your words.
My words were that... No, wait a minute, let him stay 1 second. Just a second. Zarqawi was in Baghdad during the pre-war period. That is a fact.
Zarqawi? He was in the north of Iraq in a place where Saddam Hussein had no rule. He was
also in Baghdad.
Yeah, when he needed to go to the hospital. Come on, these people aren't idiots. They know the story.
You are
correct, sir. Ray McGovern, the quote that he gave there was a direct quote from Rumsfeld. I know where they are. They're in the north, east, west, and south of Tikrit. That would cover really all the areas around Tikrit. And guess what? They were in none of those places. So now when you question the intelligence or you question the national security interests before we go to act in Syria, look, anybody else can make that question. I question it. Don Rumsfeld, you're not allowed to question things like that. I mean, you want to talk about what Don Rumsfeld knows and doesn't know? Check this out.
There are reports that there is no evidence of a direct link between Baghdad and some of these terrorist organizations.
There are known knowns. There are things we know we know. We also know there are known unknowns. That is to say, we know there are some things we do not know. But there are also unknown unknowns. The ones we don't know, we don't know.
You kidding me? Rumsfeld questioning a war. Oh, right. By the way, to be fair, Rumsfeld does have some expertise on chemical weapons. Remember when he sold them to this guy? Oh, right. By the way, that was in late 1983. Now, to be fair to Rumsfeld, we're not entirely clear that he actually sold the chemical weapons to Saddam Hussein at the time, but we do know for a fact, because of revelations this week, in fact, that the CIA knew in 1983 when they took that picture that Saddam had used chemical weapons against the Iranians, and the CIA and the U.S. government, and Rumsfeld there was the envoy of Ronald Reagan, said, it's fine, green light, go forward. So yes, Rumsfeld does have some expertise on chemical weapons, but it is not in preventing them.